You haven't subscribed to the channel yet? Subscribe now. We have new stories every day. Now let's go. My wife cheated on me right before my eyes, destroying our marriage, and the consequences were inevitable. Sometimes I wonder if I'm the perfect husband. My job demands a lot from me, and there are days when I come home feeling a bit down. I might not be rolling in cash, but we live comfortably. We have a cozy house, two decent cars, my wife has a wardrobe full of stylish clothes, and our 8-year-old daughter, Lily, has plenty of expensive toys. At the end of the day, I see myself as a simple, hardworking man who deeply loves his family. Rachel and I have spent nearly 12 years in a happy marriage. However, recently, something has changed between us. It's something subtle, hard to describe exactly. Rachel has become more distant, showing a coldness I had never seen before. She's quick to find fault with me over small things, which is very unlike her. I tried to talk to her, asking if something's bothering her, but like many spouses, she brushes it off, blaming her behavior on tiredness or a tough day. At first, I gave her space to work through her issues, but her detached attitude started to grate on my nerves. And as any married person knows, problems with your spouse usually carry over into the bedroom. I always try to keep our love life exciting and spontaneous. As a romantic, I often brought home flowers to set the mood. In the past, these gestures usually led to passionate moments later, but lately, they've been met with nothing more than a quick thanks and a kiss. It was as if Rachel now viewed these efforts as me trying to make up for something. For weeks, she hadn't shown any interest in intimacy, and when I tried to initiate, she either wasn't in the mood or claimed she had a headache. Even when she did agree, she was passive, leaving everything to me. As time went on, I found myself pulling away emotionally too. I spent more time with Lily when I got home and tried to avoid interacting with Rachel, which only made things worse. Feeling desperate, I spent time at work trying to figure out what might be causing Rachel's behavior. I replayed countless scenarios in my head, but nothing made sense. The more I thought about it, the more I couldn't shake the idea that she might be having an affair. I tried reassuring myself that she would never betray our marriage, but the thought wouldn't leave my mind. I started looking up signs of infidelity, trying to spot changes in her behavior or routine. I hadn't noticed any major changes, but most of my interactions with her were in the evenings. Who knows what she's like during the day? Still, some signs of cheating seemed uncomfortably familiar, especially her new attitude toward me. I even thought about hiring a private investigator, but without concrete evidence, it felt premature and unjustified. All I had were suspicions, not enough to warrant the expense of a PI, so I started investigating on my own. I began by calling home during the day to see if Rachel was there. The results were inconsistent. Sometimes she was home. Other times, she'd gone out for what she said were errands. Still, nothing significant enough to suggest infidelity. Not ready to give up, I bought an old surveillance camera and discreetly set it up under the eaves of the garage, connected to a hidden recording unit behind some paint cans. I was hoping to catch a suspicious car or visitor. 2 weeks went by, and there was nothing. Sometimes Rachel left the house briefly, but there was no sign of anyone else. As our 12th anniversary approached, I thought it might be a good opportunity to reignite the spark in our marriage. I suggested we go out for dinner and dancing, something we hadn't done in a long time. We arranged for Lily to stay with my parents overnight, and I booked a table at Rachel's favorite restaurant, Plato's Place. Dinner went relatively well. The wine helped her relax, and we started to joke and laugh, much like we used to. After dinner, Rachel insisted we go to our usual dance spot, where the music was more low-key. I didn't mind. It was a place we had enjoyed in the past. The atmosphere was surprisingly nice. We had a couple of drinks, and soon Rachel was out on the dance floor, moving gracefully just like she used to. I enjoyed watching her, but then my attention was drawn to a man sitting in the corner staring at her. A feeling of discomfort crept over me. When Rachel went to the restroom, I noticed that the man's gaze followed her. He even glanced at me with a smug expression. I couldn't shake the feeling that something was off, that the evening was about to take a bad turn. "Who's that guy?" I asked when Rachel returned to the table. "What guy?" She responded a little too quickly, as if caught off guard. But then, to my surprise, that same man walked up to our table and, without even acknowledging me, turned to Rachel. "Would you like to dance?" he asked, ignoring my presence entirely. "No, thanks," I cut in sharply. The guy smirked. "I was talking to the lady," he said, full of arrogance. "And the lady is my wife," I shot back, standing up. "So if you're looking for a dance, you better find someone else." Rachel tried to calm things down, her voice frustrated. "Derek, you're being ridiculous," she said. "It's just a dance." "Maybe, but if you go dance with him, I'm leaving," I stated firmly. Rachel sighed, and without saying another word, she took the guy's hand and walked off to the dance floor with him. I left without looking back. On the drive home, I knew it was over between us. When I got back to the house, I packed my bags and left, letting Rachel deal with her choices. Comments from readers. User 1. "Wow, what a painful experience. I'm glad you had the strength to leave. No one deserves that level of disrespect. Stay strong." User 2. I'm sorry you had to go through that. Some people really don't realize what they have until they lose it. You deserve better. User 3. You handled that with a lot more class than I would have. That guy had some nerve approaching your table like that. Good for you for walking out. User 4. Man, I'm so sorry. It's crazy how people can just betray their partners like that. It sounds like you did the right thing. User 5. Hope you find peace in moving on. You deserve someone who respects you fully. Keep your head up.